Okay, so let's get into the cross-examination of defendant Gerhardt Konig when he took the stand. For those of you who are just joining, this is like video 20. Where have you been? There is a playlist on my profile that you can go back and start watching from the beginning if you want to. But this is the story of the man who is accused of attempted murder of his wife, Ariel. He bashed her in the head with a rock. He claims self-defense, but he bashed her in the head with a rock on a hiking trail in Oahu, and now he is accused of attempting to murder her. This week, he made what I firmly believe is the foolish decision. Now, it's not always a foolish decision. There are some defendants that should take the stand in their own defense, right? And you understandably want them to, right? But this was not one of those situations. And I feel like the prosecutor did exactly what the prosecutor was supposed to do on cross-examination. I have several pages of notes. This is going to be a few more videos, but I talk a lot and I'm sorry, but let's start going through this. So we start off by kind of systematically walking through some of the, Gerhardt admitted that he went into detective mode after he noticed Ariel's frequent phone usage. So she goes on a business trip, apparently befriends this guy, Jeff Miller, while they're on a business trip with other people. They're not alone, but they're with other people. And when she comes back, he notices her face is in her phone a lot and he starts to get suspicious. So he's suspicious for 2 months and then he goes into detective mode. I have a version of detective mode where I might go Google 3 things and then call it quits. His version of detective mode, I'm saying this, other people might disagree, but I'm saying this is wild paranoia, it's obsessive stalking, it's freakishly deep dives on the person he's supposed to love and accusing her of things that I don't believe really happened. So let's get into it. First, he starts to monitor her WhatsApp usage because there's a lot of text messages going back and forth via WhatsApp. So he starts to log those. And what he does is he actually opens up his own spreadsheets and he starts to track on this date, here's what they talked about. And then he starts to see some things getting deleted. So then he starts tracking he saw this one, he saw this one, he saw this one, but now it's gone. So he's obsessively tracking her online activity. Now, by the way, he never goes to her and says, boy, you're on your phone a lot. And I'm just wondering what's going on. You feel a little distant. Never, ever, ever does the mature thing. Basically starts cyber stalking his own wife. So he starts monitoring all of her text messages. He keeps logs. Now he notices that he's going into her phone. He has access to her phone. So he can go in, he can see the text logs. He can see, he's not looking at individual texts yet. He's not there yet. He's just preliminary stalking. So, but he is making notes and he's monitoring and noticing this pattern of behavior. The defense attorney says, was anything that you were seeing of a sexual nature? And he says, no. So although he's accused her of having an affair, at one point he called her a lying bitch and a whore. He called her a whore, even though he openly admits there's nothing of a sexual nature about anything. There's no sexting, there's no nudies, there's nothing of a sexual nature. By the way, he's making these logs, so he's copying and pasting whatever he can screen capture of these text conversations, and he's putting them into kind of Word documents and notes apps so that he has them as kind of proof of what she's doing. Then for some reason, he's about to go on a trip with another couple. So those two are going to go on a trip with their friends Bryant and Gianna. And prior to this, so this is December 4th of 2024 at 3:30 p.m., he bundles all of this evidence that he has against Ariel and he sends it for some reason to his best friend, Bryant, who he's about to go on vacation with. And he says his purpose of doing this was because he wanted Bryant to know that Ariel was cheating on him, that she was having an affair, that this is very suspicious behavior, and that he'd planned to confront Ariel on their vacation. So he claims he's trying to give Bryant a heads up, vacation's gonna probably suck because Ariel and I are probably gonna be fighting the whole time. Now, if I'm Bryant and I'm on the receiving end of this, I'm reading through this and I'm like, I don't understand. Because I've said a million times in the last 19 videos that there's no there. This is just two colleagues bantering back and forth, in my opinion. Ariel said at times, they were flirty, that they were flirty texts, but I'm like, where's the flirting? I'm not seeing it. Now, again, he's asked everything that you sent to Bryant. So what Bryant received and what he's going through, is there anything in there that's of a sexual nature? And he says, no. And if I'm Bryant, I'd be like, yeah, did you forget a file? Like, where's the proof that she's having an affair? And then he also, before he confronts Ariel, he also tells Gianna, who's married to Bryant, who's Ariel's best friend. Oh, by the way, Ariel's having an affair. So he's telling their best friends before he tells his wife. You see the pattern of behavior. It's important that he gets them on his side. And Garner says that, like, you wanted to ensure that they would back you. Basically, you were trying to turn her friends against her. Then he has the confrontation with Ariel, and it's her testimony, and he admitted that, yes, he did call her a lying bitch. He called her a whore. He suggested that she should move out of the house until she could learn to take some accountability for her actions. So all of that he admitted. They come back from holiday, and they begin to do all of the things that he feels that she needs to do to repair the damage she's caused in their relationship. And Ariel, for her part, she's very sorry for what she's done. She understands that she has lost his trust. She's hurt him. She understands that. She's very apologetic. She's willing to do some things that will help repair, right? Help hold her accountable. She agrees that she's not going to text Jeff Miller off hours anymore. And I've talked about it in multiple videos. There's like a number of standards that he's expecting her to be held to. So they're supposed to be on this healing journey. And then he does the most conniving thing. So he gets on LinkedIn, and like most people, he has just a regular LinkedIn account where you can go and you can put your profile up and you look at other people's profile, you can invite them to connect. But what he does is there is a extended program that allows you to see people's contact information. So he does a trial, like a free trial of this program, so that he can hunt down Jeff Miller's wife, Andrea. And that's what he does. He finds her profile. Because he's got this free add-on, he can go and look up her contact information. He emails her, and here's a screenshot up above. I'm going to do a whole different video on this because I think this deserves its own time slot. But he emails her and basically says, your husband, my wife, are having an inappropriate relationship. Again, nothing sexual, right? But they're having an inappropriate relationship. And then he says, if you want to talk to me about this more, here's my contact information. But Garner gets him to admit, you also put Ariel's contact information. You put her work phone number, her work email, her personal number, and her personal email. Now, I've said many times, I'm petty. This is beyond petty. This is conniving little bitch. And it's dangerous because you don't know who Andrea Miller is. And maybe there's some wild history between her and her husband. So by giving her Ariel's contact information, and he was asked this on the stand, you wanted her to contact Ariel. You wanted her to call and yell and scream and embarrass Ariel. That's why you gave Ariel's contact information. He set his wife up to potentially come face to face with somebody that he did not know and did not know what the outcome would be because he is a conniving little bitch. Please come back for more.